Ever since Tata had that major design overhaul across the products, it has been doing phenomenally well, at least in terms of establishing itself in the minds of the consumers. It all started with the Nexon, then you had the Altroz, and also the Harrier and the Safari Duo. Same platform, different cars. And now that envelope is being pushed with the Punch that you see here with me. It is a smallish sort of a crossover, smaller than even the Nexon. And this is a segment that has not really had a lot of great cars and great designs. But this one aims to change all that. And in terms of just looks, it absolutely is on point and better than everything else in the segment. If you look at the front portion of the Punch, it reminds you a lot of the Safari and the Harrier because the front end really looks very, very similar to the Harrier itself. And then the entire thing just starts to get better. There's a great break over here on the side that you get with the plastic cladding. To some eyes, it may just seem like it's a bit too much, but trust me, when you look at it on the road, it actually looks very, very decent. And the best part is the way the rear end has been sectioned off and it's been designed. Very nice details, beautiful tail lamp design as well. And that, the rear 3/4, is the best angle to look at the Punch from. When I first heard about the Punch by Tata Motors, I thought this is going to be yet another small car project that's going to be a little compromised and won't really be a great deal of product development. But come to think of it, now that I am sitting in one, I'm driving one, I've spent over half a day with it. I must say that this is one of the most impressive Tata Motors products that I've driven in a very long time, because there is so much in this car to like, especially because you then start to compare it against the segment rivals. In fact, there is one car by a rival manufacturer. It was the Mahindra KUV that I drove a few years back and really did not have a very good experience with it. And ever since then, the segment has been just giving us very weird cars. And the only decent ones in the past few months have been the Renault Kiger and to a certain extent the Nissan Magnite as well. And this is largely the segment that the Punch is going to be operating in. But where it scores is the way the interior has been packaged and the kind of space that you get, the kind of comfort that you get. We have been very impressed. I had the front seating according to my driving position, and then I got in the back. I had sufficient amount of space. The feet could also go in under the front seats in a very decent way. There is a little bit of an obstruction around the shin area, but that's to be expected. And the cushioning of the seats is phenomenal. You can easily do long distances without really getting tired. And even otherwise, the support that the seats give you, they're absolutely very well designed. And it's a very comfortable place to be with decent space, as I said, both in the front and at the back. When you talk about the quality, that is in fact something that we all have been very impressed by, because while it may look a little hard and it does shine a little bit under direct sunlight, but the quality, the strength of the plastics is absolutely solid, and it does not rattle. It does not give you any sort of a cheap feel as such when you hold it, and if you try to kind of manhandle it, it does not give you any sort of compromised feel, come to think of it. The only thing that we all kind of thought could have been done better was the white element over here, which breaks the monotony of the dashboard in a very nice way. So the white bit of the plastic, that is actually the most inferior part if you discount the center console. The cabin, the front part, is characterized by the screen that you see in the middle. This one is of course the top end variant, so you have a touchscreen infotainment system, 7 inches, and it gives you everything almost that car of this segment should. So you have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay wired, because come to think of it, wireless is just going to push the price factor a bit more. For the price segment that this car is going to be in, wireless charging and everything is going to be just unnecessary add-ons. So based on price and the segmentation alone, I think is very well spec. And Tata has spent a lot of time and also invested a lot of thought on safety. So you get ABS, EBD, you have cornering brake control as well, and dual airbags are standard, of course. So in terms of robustness and the safety element, it just gives you that sense of confidence, that sense of peace of mind. So yeah, and it's extremely well insulated from the noise outside. There is a little bit of a drone from the gearbox that you can hear, but that's not too bad. Now the other main bits. First is the suspension. And I've said this in the past as well, almost all Tata cars come with great suspension setups. And this one is no different. The suspension has been possibly the highlight of the car. And I did not expect that because generally in a small car, when you talk about hatchbacks or even crossovers that we have seen in the past, suspension kind of feels like, it's been compromised on. But here the damping is very nice, confident. It's also got that silent absorption that not a lot of cars of this segment can boast of. So it does not really sound like it's working overtime, and it doesn't sound rude at all. The extension of the ride quality is again going to be about the platform, and this one is the Alpha Arc platform, which we have seen on the cars prior to this one as well. Altroz is a classic case in point. Very, very nicely planted car when it comes to the chassis balance. And while we have not been able to throw the punch around in a big way, I don't think that it's going to be too much of a difference between the Altroz and the ground clearances, or it's a high riding crossover. There is a substantial amount of distance from the ground to the lowest part of the platform, and because of that, the center of gravity is also going to be higher up. But it should not be too bad. In fact, on the regular road surfaces and some flowing bends that we have encountered, it tracks the line of the corner in a very confident way. So don't really think that cornering abilities should be too bad. In fact, they should be actually quite good for the segment. And another thing which is worth talking about is the steering. Now the steering wheel itself is very good. It essentially is a carry forward from the other cars, like again the Altroz. But the response is not bad. The initial turn-in is pretty good, and it kind of stays on its course. It doesn't really give you any vague feeling, and even on return, the self-return is not too bad. What we are driving is the AMT variant. Now the engine is of course the same across all variants, so it's a 1.2 litre petrol engine, non-turbo, and this one is mated to an AMT gearbox, which can be, this one is actually the weakest link, and while the calibration of the AMT is leagues ahead of what it used to be in the past, it's still not something that's very accurate. It's still something that lags a little, and you have to really, really think ahead if you're going to be overtaking something on the road. So plan your overtakes very properly, because this can be a nervous experience with the AMT. In fact, you just leave it in the auto mode and it's going to do all the work for you. And you may feel that slight bit of lag or the pull back from the engine a little, because it kind of acts exactly like a manual should. So when you shift through the gears manually and you press a clutch, there is that slight bit of a delay going from one gear to the other. It's exactly like that, but because you're not shifting it, you feel it that much more.
So in all,
The Tata Punch comes across as a car which is extremely competent, a car that I was not expecting to be as good as it has turned out to be. It's okay in terms of the features list. It comes with some very crucial add-ons. Cruise control is a welcome addition, and just generally, the build quality is okay. It looks smart on the inside as well. It gives you all the bells and whistles. It gives you good amount of safety features as well. So whether the Punch is going to punch above its weight, something that Tata Motors is also talking about, and this has become a phrase, a very popular phrase for them, is something that we'll see as time passes. But overall, not a bad product at all.